Hello, welcome to Zentangle Explore. I am so excited that you are here to draw with me. We are going to be drawing very slowly, and we'll be drawing a Zentangle pattern, one pattern very slowly. And so if you have a little piece of paper, this is watercolor paper, but you can draw with whatever you'd like. And pens, one is enough. I have a number here, and you can just draw with whatever pen you have on your desk. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. The whole point is that we will be together, we will breathe, and we will draw slow lines. All right, so I am going to start off with a little meditation, just a little breathing, a little centering, and then we will draw. So get nice and comfortable in your seat. You can close your eyes if you'd like. I'm going to close mine. And just find your breath. Maybe you're inhaling. Maybe you're exhaling. Maybe there's a little stop at the top or a little stop at the bottom before the cycle continues. No need to change it. However it is that you're breathing right now is absolutely perfect. Just notice. Follow with gentle awareness. As you're breathing, maybe notice where else you can feel it in your body. Perhaps you can feel your chest rising and falling softly and easily. Maybe you can feel a little tug of your breath at the back of your throat. It's possible there's a little coolness at the edge of your nostrils as you inhale. Maybe your shoulders gently rise and fall with each repetition of the cycle. Perhaps you can feel your ribs expand, maybe in the front of your body, maybe even in the back of your body. Perhaps you can feel the rise and fall of your abdomen, your belly area with each inhale and exhale. Maybe as you breathe, you can feel your clothing moving against your skin. So gently, so softly. Just becoming aware of where you can feel your breath. And perhaps you can send that breath out into the world with intention. Whatever intention you'd like to create for your day today, you can create that intention with a thought, a loving, beautiful, peaceful thought if you wish. And with your exhale, you can send it out and watch it go out into the air in your room, out of the room into your neighborhood, out of your neighborhood into the whole town or city or village that you're in. From that village or town or city to the next one. Continuing to connect. And every time that beautiful intention lands on a person or an animal or a plant or a tree or a flower, you can see it lighting up, with joy and peace for having been acknowledged, receiving the love that you are sending forth into the world. Now you can bring your attention back into your body, knowing that your message has been received, and hold that intention in your heart, knowing that it will infuse the rest of your day in a lovely and peaceful and beautiful way. Ready, you can open your eyes and know that whatever we create together will be perfect just as it is. Okay, thank you, everybody. That's helpful for me to center before drawing. All right, I'm going to change my camera view and we will draw. All right, I have a couple of pieces of paper here, and I've been playing around with oddly shaped pieces of paper, scraps of paper. And so I'm going to pull this one out in a little while, but I'm going to start on this lovely little one right here. Misha is here. She likes to join class every so often. Okay, so I don't know the name of this tangle. I thought it was wood, but it's not. And because I don't know the name, I'm just going to call it wood, W-O-O-D, as opposed to its other tangle, wood, W-U-D. So this is a little bit different than what we usually do. I'm going to start out by drawing some very slow lines, ovals or circles. We're going to draw on our entire page today, which we don't usually do. Excited to explore this new way of drawing. This particular pattern calls for it. These do not have to be perfect. In fact, it'll be far more interesting if they are not perfect in any way. They can be big, they can be small, it can be long and narrow, it can be oddly shaped. I know you don't know what we're doing yet, but just play. Really slow lines. You can even put some of these off the page if you like. I enjoy playing off the page, partial patterns. So as if we have a Swiss cheese type thing going on here, we're just adding some interesting shapes to our space before we start to fill in what comes next. And it doesn't have to look anything like mine. It's an organic tangle, organic aura tangle, actually. So everybody's is going to look different. No two will be alike. And every time you draw it from here on out, whether you decorate envelopes with it or doodle it while you're on the phone or in a meeting, it will look different every time. And that is super fun. The next thing that happens is we're going to begin by adding some auras. An aura is just a bubble, a little bubble around your shape. We're going to do it really slowly. I'm going to start with one bubble. And I'm going to really concentrate. I am really concentrating on how slowly I can draw these lines. Aura lines are really lovely when they actually aura the shape specifically. When I draw quickly, I find that the shape gets a little wacky, which is perfectly okay. I also find, more importantly, that it's not as pleasing because I was focused on the end result instead of focused on the journey of actually getting to the end result. Drawing slowly helps me to be present for the entire experience. And I find it's far more satisfying to draw that way. And I'm also super amazed every time I sit down and draw slowly that I actually get anywhere. My brain says, you're drawing slowly, you won't ever finish anything, but it's not true. Why? My brain tells me because it wants to go faster. I get to choose whether or not I want to listen to what my brain is telling me. It doesn't always tell me the truth. To be careful about that tricky brain. Slowing down, drawing aura lines, and breathing. So now you could add another aura if you want. I'm going to show you what is going to happen next so you can decide whether or not you want to add more auras. So I'm going to start from one side of my page here. And now this really is an aura tangle. I'm going to draw a line. And you could have run into that line, into that shape, but I'm going to go around that shape. Whenever my line is, I need to pick my hand up, I just pick it up and start over. Draw it really slowly all the way down the page. Whenever I encounter a shape, I just aura it and go around. And so this process ends up looking like um, a knotty pine or piece of wood that has, you can see the knots in the tree. So those are the shapes that we already drew. And there are ways to do this. So you can continue with this one and I'll integrate all of these other shapes. You can move on to the next one. And then whatever spaces in between, come back and fill in later. So it's really up to you how you want this to fill in. Of course, this is Zentangle Explore. So it's all about exploring your way and what you want to happen. I find this pattern really interesting because you don't know what's going to happen. Because you put your shapes down first and it's not pre-thought. So the end result is going to be super lovely. And you can run your lines into each other if you want. Do this. So what I mean by that is here the lines will join and they'll come apart again. I'll show you really what I mean. So if I want to run this behind, which I don't really want to show this to you, so I will, then I just start on the other side. So you can use that technique of drawing behind wherever you want. And you can start with a small nibbed pen, like I have, and then get a larger nibbed pen and start drawing in the same piece with thicker lines. You can add patterns to your little shapes. You can change your shapes. They don't have to be organic ovals or circles. Be amoebas or squares or triangles. So many different ways to explore this pattern. Exploring every pattern really, really slowly. You can always turn your tile around. Oh my gosh, I just had a really fun exploratory thought. I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna see what happens. So first what I'm saying is you can turn your tile around and then draw this way, which I will do to show you, and then I'm going to go off on my exploratory thought. It's really important when you get super excited about a new idea and remind yourself to slow down. No rush, all the time in the world. You're just breathing, drawing slow lines, and exploring whatever questions come up by saying, what if I did this? Sounds pretty crazy. What would happen? Maybe I'll like it. Maybe my pen will do a little glitch in the line. Maybe my line will wiggle. It's all okay. Wiggly lines are the most interesting lines. Okay, I'm going to do my I'll to play with my idea. This is a slow drawing has really helped me to release my grip on my pen and to be more conscious of how I'm holding my pen. It's really actually changed my whole relationship with my pen, which I am super grateful for. So the idea is that we are able to fill this entire page, although you don't need to. You might like some white spaces. This would be a lovely project, a lovely, lovely pattern to just keep at the side of your desk and pick up and add to throughout the week. And every time you need a little bit of peace or calm, sit and breathe for a few minutes before beginning. And then pick up your pen. Add some more slow lines to your creation. Let's see what happens. I think that perfectionism comes in, and I am a recovering perfectionist, so I speak from experience. Comes in when we have an idea in our head that we expect something to turn out a certain way. And then when it doesn't, it's very disappointing and can feel like a failure because what was in your head wasn't actually able to be recreated in real time. And I have found that when I release that expectation, I hold the outcome very lightly. Say, I would like this to happen. And I am open to whatever wishes to show up instead. I am generally far more delighted and find far more wonder in the experience than had I held myself to my rigid expectation. It's like trying to force this flowing, beautiful universe to do only what you want to do and nothing else. Just by watching nature, you can tell that life doesn't go that way. It's just not the way life is, not the way nature is. Nature is always nurturing and loving, and beautiful, but it never forces anything in any way. It just moves around. So just like this pattern, where we put these shapes in, they're then objects and they sit in that space. And then your line, like water flowing across rocks down a stream, your line forms the path. In unexpected ways. In lovely and delightful ways, if you allow it to do whatever it's doing without trying to manipulate it or control it, but just gently guide it, allowing it to unfold in perfect time and in perfect ways. Releasing what you think should happen and opening to what actually is happening. It's a practice. It's something that I'm practice and continue to practice and find it gets easier the more I practice. Like anything, learning anything new, a sport or a language or school subject takes practice. Maybe they should call homework actually practice. I think maybe it would feel easier if we referred to it as practice, which it is. instead of homework, which sounds tedious and troublesome, sometimes a little boring. Remind myself that I'm going slow. All idea is to go slow. Like those are some people pick a word or phrase for the year. My phrase for the year is go slow, which is why I am so glad that you are here drawing with me, either live or on the replay, because you are helping me to focus on my intention for the year. Go slow. To find delight in simple things. To release my expectations and embrace whatever is before me. I've spent a lot of years trying to force my way through life, and it's rather unsatisfying, which is an understatement, and just ends in frustration, feelings of failure, and neither of those feel good. I like this new way of being so much better. And I am grateful you are helping me. You can stop and start a new one anytime you like. You can continue playing on the same page. You can add color. You can thicken some of your lines. You can soften your corners by adding a little weighting, a little webbing to the corners where lines meet. You are being really super brave and bold. You could draw a new shape on top of all of your lines. Start aureating that one. That would be too cool. Just see what happens. You can add new shapes. So we start out adding all of our shapes and then aureating around. So you always have the opportunity to add new shapes and empty spaces. I'll add one here to show you. You can add more than one aura to your original shape. You could do 2 or 3 or more before you start drawing your aura lines down the page. Just breathing and drawing, allowing whatever wants to be created to take shape in front of your eyes. Saying, wow, I didn't know that was there. I didn't know that was possible. That was pretty amazing. And just allowing the piece or the lines or whatever it is that you've created so far to tell you what comes next, instead of trying to tell the piece what comes next. Sometimes it can feel difficult to do that. But I find that when I do, the outcome is always surprising. I always learn something new. I'm always glad that I released my expectation. You fill your lines up and you still have some spaces and you want to color in black, you can do that. You can grab a highlighter and color in some sheer color. You could shade it with a little sheer color. So many ways to play with this. Every single one of them is absolutely perfect. There are no wrong ways to explore. It's your way to explore whatever it is you want to explore. And whatever that is absolutely perfect. Whatever you learn from that exploration, it's for you to know and to share if you'd like. And every exploration helps you go on the next exploratory journey. I used to get upset because I had an expectation whenever I made a new recipe, which of course I always modified the recipe. I never followed the directions specifically, substituting ingredients and changing the way things are done. And I'd be disappointed almost every time. And then my husband said to me, it's an experiment. You're already successful just because you tried something new. It was a really helpful thing for me to learn and understand. And every single time you pick up your pen, it's an experiment. So whatever happens is leading you somewhere. It's leading you to the next piece, leading you to the next line, leading you to the next time you pick up your pen. That's how scientists figure out everything. They have a hypothesis, which is just simply an idea, a question. They have a question, and then they go about setting up experiments to find the answer to the question. And oftentimes the answer is something they never would have thought of. That's how new products are created, because they think it's going to do one thing. It's terrible at doing that thing, but it's really good at doing something else, something new, something unexpected. And a new product is born. And it's sometimes something that's really useful. The world would not have had scientists' expectation been met, because this new thing wouldn't have been created, because the scientists wouldn't have been open to seeing what was before their eyes. And the same is for you, and for your artwork and your creativity and everything you're creating in your life, as it is for me as well. So I can spend my time being frustrated and upset and sad and miserable and feeling like a failure, which I've done for a long time. Or I can say, all right, what is here for me to discover? What is new in this moment? What can I embrace? What might be delightful if I open my eyes and my mind to it? So that's I invite you into. And practicing with a pen on a piece of paper is the safest way to practice. I think most delightful way to practice. Okay, this is what I've created. Thank you for drawing with me. I hope you enjoyed this class. If you would like to donate to these classes, paypal.me/eternalpossibility. And if you'd like to check out more of my work, eternalpossibility.com. All right, I hope you have a lovely day.